Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, May 16, 2021. Sunday, rest day for you and rest time for you. But I am disturbing you. Sorry for that. This is no time for sleeping, but you sleep no problem. I am not sleeping. Title of this talk is Civil Field Engineering, COVID-19, Designs and Construction, Methods, Contracts, AnnexSL. AnnexSL. Good morning, Mr. Chaudhary Raju. Thank you very much. AnnexSL, Organizations, Communication, Coordination, Quality, etc., etc. Just starting with very critical issue of current times. We have to be very serious about that. If we have certificates, if we have life, we should respond to them as well. That's also a requirement. And if we don't have a duty, I think we cheat ourselves. This is what life is. Quality is very important part of life, and if it is not done, I think it's you can say self-defeat, I should say. If we don't be serious about life, we defeat ourselves. If we are not justified to ourselves, we defeat ourselves. And if we don't think of ourselves and our people, whole world, we think ourselves. Thinking must have also quality system. If thinking has no quality system, then thinking can be rubbish. For me, quality may be one part, for me other part. It doesn't matter. Question is, everybody has different approach, but currently COVID-19 that has taken its bed all over world, that has spread all over world as if it relates to world. We have to remember, politicians may say whatever they want to say throughout world. I don't believe them, because politicians are not scientists. They are not doctors. They are very normal people, very, very normal in a sense that they are not experts. They are only journalists, not journalists paper writing, but generalists. I mean very, very common people, but to whom impact comes, it is citizen of world, to me and to you like that. COVID-19, corona viral infection disease, which was named 19, is very horrible. It looks sometimes that it has gone or it is going, but it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere, I can say. It stays where it is. Yes, for some time it hides. I can say for some time it hides and it keeps us, happy that it is gone. It happened last time in our country, particularly. It happened in our country, Bharat, India. It happened in England. It happened in USA. It happened in many countries of Europe. And I think there is no part of world where it didn't happen. It played with us, with every one of us. And we are allowing this to play. It's unfortunate. Title of this talk, I think, has some spelling error. Excuse me for that. It happened. It should be 16.05, but I think it's 165. This is an error, typo error. I'll correct it if it's possible. So it is 16th date, not 165 by error. I apologize for that. Now, I am not directly talking about medical of COVID-19 related problems, but this deliberation is very small, and this is about HSE engineering. HSE stands for Health, Safety, Environment, and Ergonomics is support to human being through HSE engineering. Engineering, I am discussing here based on COVID-19, because COVID-19 has changed entire society throughout world. For example, handshake doesn't exist. You can understand. Handshake doesn't exist. Embracing doesn't exist. Handshake and embracing have gone. I think kissing also has gone. I think so. Maybe I'm not sure. These are all related to health. Health, handshake, because hand has become, our palm has become carrier of virus COVID-19, which we cannot even see. I'm not sure whether or not you know about size of COVID-19 virus particle. Maybe you have seen dust, which we call clay, 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 and in our ordinary language we call it chikni mitti. If you see particle of clay, it's very very small. One particle, maybe you can't even touch it. That particle size is 0.0002 millimeters, and when it flies in air, you can't see this. It looks like dust, or we can say when it is high speed air or breezing air, it's called dust storm. That dust storm comprises particles of clay, dry particles of clay, not wet, because if it is wet it cannot suspend in air. Lesser to that size of clay is size of COVID-19. We have to keep in mind it's smaller than size of clay, and if it is smaller than size of clay, it means something. We have to keep in mind it is something. It is smaller than size of clay. We have to take into consideration about this particle. This has changed because this is transmission agent. This particle is transmission agent, and that is very dangerous. Similarly, it's not only through hand it can come, it can also fly into your body through eyes. Eyes, which is, you can say, a medium that allows the speed of this particle to flow to your body equivalent to 50 times with what speed it can enter through your nose and through your mouth. These two routes are available, and you can say mouth is very important part of hygiene, it's very important part of eating, and nose is very important part of exhaling and inhaling, respirations or breathing, and it also passes dirt outside, liquid outside, and also takes in this particle or air. Because it does it, our thousands of workers in construction who work, they are prone to this attack. I have seen generally those workers working in construction or those crew, they don't like to wear masks, and they don't like to wear, you can say, glasses. It's not because they don't like, because it's not convenient to them, they think so. Because already they work highly on sweating, higher temperature, they lift loads, stand for hours in sun, and I understand they are inconvenience caused due to these activities. And even if I work in that place, I may not like to use mask. I may not like to use glasses because of drops falling from eyes and eyebrows due to sweating of body. This point we have to understand very well. And if you don't understand very well, we make a mistake. And also, because it is related to health, safety and environment, all these stand at one place. If health is impacted, if that worker or supervisor to that worker who is generally not available. These people don't care about such workers. These workers, even though they work hard, they are very strong bodily, they have high degree of immunity, what will I can say vitality. They can resist sun, they can resist air, they can resist humidity, and they can resist all weather conditions. Bodily they are very strong, but virus does not understand body, it just understands entry. Just like cat, it doesn't know what's inside house, but it tries to enter. When you just shift your vision from cat takes a chance to enter your home, and after that she doesn't know what shall happen. Same thing is virus. It enters your body and it takes accommodation in your body. That accommodation is required for this growth of virus. What I would say is, it is duty of engineers, it is duty of community to keep our these work level, active work level workers, incumbents safe from impact of COVID-19, because these are poor people. They don't have millions or lakhs to have treatment. And nowadays what situation is ongoing in our country and all over other countries, though news are not pouring in, but there is always resurgent everywhere. And I think it has been very normal in our country, India, Bharat, and our neighboring countries also started affecting like this. Maybe not to that level, but to some level. But population wise, we are number one in this area now after China. China, I think, has vaccinated its people and it thinks that they are safe. Same America has done. It thinks it is safe. But I know this is all deception. It's all deception, because no one is safe until this virus works successfully and stays on our planet. It's not going soon, I understand. We have to take care of COVID-19 as if it's not going tomorrow or even in 6 months or 1 year. We have to understand that. I'll take this in further talk. Before that, I will like to give some information about what is yesterday's reporting of this virus from our country, and it is very important part also, just to brief in, not because I am a reporter, but because I want to just share with you what is right and what is wrong. And this is, you can say, this is yesterday's publication report. I want to share with qualified people and those who understand it. This is report of 14th May 14, 2021, and was published yesterday on May 15th. This is my, you can say, direct analysis of what government of our country publishes. They publish only information. They do not give any you can say analytical answer, analytical explanation why it's happening. You assume yourself. Well, I don't know, going to debate on that. Title is very simple: Bharat India daily cases. Yesterday report was that 326,098 positive cases were reported. 3.26 lakhs or 0.326 million, you can say 0.326 million cases were registered per publication of report yesterday. And this is my analysis is based on my data which I saved for 238 days only, not for more than 440 days. So no problem, 238 days, whatever data I could collect, I am going to share here. 238 days, and this is analytical informative talk. This is V1 COVID-19 and also its variant, which they call it B1 and whatever, 617 or 6171, 6172, 6173, whatever they call it very dangerous for whole world, no problem. So this is report of, you can say, May 15th, 2021, and is based on Government of India provided data, and I have used that on worksheet. I incorporated that information which I copied from that website of government and put for your use. It says that fatalities, I say fatalities, whatever, or deaths or whatever data is being reported, by government, I consider that. I'm not challenging government data, but I don't accept that data. No government in world can give correct data. That's also true. Means they play with data, like America played, France played, or you can say other countries played, Europe played, many China played. I think it's general tactics to play with data, and we are master in that. So I take data that is provided by government only to an extent of 33% or one third, and I add it to that by a multiplication factor of 3, so that nearly accurate data comes in. So what it says on this report, that, and my statement is, this data has been included based on GOI, which means Government of India portal, based information, which includes only those individuals that have been admitted to hospitals in private as well as public or recorded otherwise. Saturdays, Sundays, etc., holidays, of course, impact on that. Data pertinent to those who were located at home is available, and unofficially, you can say, you may assume that data pertinent to those who were located at home is not registered somewhere, but those who have been released as dead bodies by hospitals, whether private or public, those data are available. That data is available, and we have that data, which I'll show you in next file. And that data on this day report says that 326,098 or 3,26,098 positive cases were registered on May 14th. Yes, it is a game of numbers, and everybody can play this game. It is government custody, government registration, government authority, so they can publish whatever they like to publish, and adjust that. I'm not going into debate of that one. And we can only say the managers, organizers are responsible for this. That is the Government of India, their officers. They are very inefficient, I'll like to say. Now I assume more than 50% people are going to be impacted by COVID-19, and particularly in cities, which is extremely bad status of testing and failure in large scale vaccination. I just now saw a news, a government statement that we are getting stabilization of COVID-19, and it's a ridiculous statement, I can say. They are always efficient in declaring something without having proper information. This is unfortunate, because they don't have patience to digest something. They just want to take credit of everything, even though this is not time of COVID-19 drawing credit from, but still they say it is in stabilization. I don't understand meaning of stabilization. What do they mean by that? Now they are befooling people, let them befool, it doesn't matter. My fight is not with government, my fight is not with somebody else, my fight is with collecting information as much as possible, analyzing that and sharing with public, because if you provide information, right information, we can control something. And if you hide information, means we act against our interest, against ourselves. Hiding or concealing whatever information means it always goes against people, it always goes against nation. Just like America hid, they concealed some information, and Europe concealed, and they are concealed, and we are also in same you can say same loop. We also try to conceal, and concealing is no answer, because it relates to health of whole society. It doesn't relate to something else. So why we befool whole world is a question mark. I'm not writing. I'm not, why should we as a nation hide facts? And risk controls cannot be done if we hide facts. Risk controls can't be answered. No answers from nation. There is no answer from government. Means what is risk mitigation or marginal erosion now? Now I'm not saying to don't go for that, but I'm just trying to say, please don't be misled that vaccination shall help you fully. It is meant only to raise your immunity levels and not to stop or prevent transmission from one person to another one. Transmission is not applicable in case of even if you are inoculated both stages. It may It may augment your, you can say, vitality or immunity for a few months or couple of months, but even after that, no, there's no evidence that it shall continue for even months, many more months or many more years. I have not seen any research paper which says that for a couple of years it would help you. Well, this is medical issue, scientific issue. Now, despite inoculation of vaccinations one requires to undergo to entire precautionary measures, resort to entire precautionary measures such as wearing masks all times, using eyeglasses all times, and maintain safe distance. As I said, wearing eyeglasses are significant for speed of virus entry to eyes is 50 times of speed with which it enters through nose and mouth. No plans provided for provisions of vaccines, even there is no complete declaration what schedule for vaccination shall be. Very slow speed of vaccination, I can say lowest percentage wise in entire world is ours. Must improve to fast efficiency of vaccinations, or else it would be useless if it goes for years. Our speed, our current vaccination speed yesterday or day before yesterday was 146 468.7, which is 1 crore, or not 1 crore, I'm sorry, 14 lakhs, which is 14 lakhs 64,687 average first dose and second dose. You can say 1.46 million first dose and second dose per day. It's average, which is too low when requirement is 1.425 crores per day. 1.425 crores per day and 14.6 lakhs. So you can say it is 1/10, 10% or even less, or maybe 11%, doesn't matter, per day for first dose and second dose. So we are just vaccinating around 1/10 of requirement. This means if you keep this figure of average in mind, that is 146,468.7, which is on May 14th. 808 days required, 808 days, remember, based on this data, 888 days are required to vaccinate population, and 880 days means, imagine what time, maybe 2024. Summary is that on this date, it's very important one, that vaccination which has been done so far is 18 crores on 14th May 2021, and that is 13.881% of combined, that's combined for both stages. And we can say this was started in January, on January 16th, and now we have reached only 18 crores in a period of 3 months, January, February, March, April, May, 4 months. In period of 4 months, we could cover only 18 crore, while it should be total 260 crores. So you can say where we are, where do we stand. Total tests conducted up to May 14th is 31 crore. 31 crore only, and on that day, that is May 14th, is only 16.93 lakhs. Total corona infections till May 14, that is 24,37,2907, which you can say 2.44 crores. 2.44 crores till May 14th, according to government. Positive infected cases declared on this day of 14th May, this is, as I said, 3.26 lakhs. Based manipulated data, okay, Average percentage of current 7 days, if you just take that day of test plus 6 days previously, average comes to be 19.84%, which means 25.79 crores people. 25.79, so 26 crore people. If you apply these percentages to whole population, and those tested positive on report day is 19.26%, which if you apply this percentage onto whole population, it's also 20 crores contractions probability in whole nation. Death is on till this report day, I think it's 14th by miss, no problem, 2.66 lakhs, this is what they say, and population tested is 24.078% only. Since March 2021, this means we tested only 24% people till this date, and remaining population is 75.922%, which has not been tested. It's question mark, means we just tested only 24 and it's actually 20 to 22, because there is a repetition of test and we cannot say same person tested many times, so it percentage is, this percentage is more, it should be less. Remaining 75 or 76 or 77% people is a question mark, and I think there is no scheme for that, and it shall take 955 days more with this speed. So what is conclusion is, its assessment conclusion, our conclusion is, as in my conclusion as an analyst is, the above this data which I have given is government data, but assessment based actual figures for infections and deaths using multiplication factor 3 on Government of India reported data. Daily infections is on whatever they have given, it is 9,78,294, or you can say around 9.78 lakhs or 0.98 million a day on this report. Daily deaths being in what they say, I say is 11 times 11,670. Update of deaths being 798,621, though it's more than million, but this calculation says 0.8 million, and infection updates, that is 7.3 crores. This is assessment, this is no evidence for this, only mathematical assessment. Now, facts are different. COVID-19 testing of citizens never ever worked successfully, we know, and we have wasted time. People of Bharat, India throughout we thought that testing would be done, but this was never taken. All negative activities. There has been no testing plan by government, and nobody is actually interested to know at this stage. It's now 441 days since we have tested only 24%. Do you think it is justified? As individually you have to think, why did our SC, our GOI, our people were silent? They remained silent. What did our political parties do? And no testing for 75.9% people, which is very, very cruel, very, very, non-professional thinking, non-professional act. Without testing, you cannot say, you cannot know what's happening, and that's result is every day we are getting these infections. 80% people have gone without any test. Poor have not been tested because it is not affordable by them. And if a nation cannot test its subjects and they claim stability or they claim control, I shall call it nonsense. Government has been sheer failure against COVID-19. Vaccination so far is very, very slow. Very, very slow. And we should be shameful. PM and government have been responsible for this failure. Blind support to whatever regime is useless. We have to think for nation and not for some person. You can go through all this in this file which is available on internet, and we can say this dose here given is 18 crores. That's analysis of that, and like that you can go through this. I'll now jump onto other file, and that is that file is Excel based file, which gives this. I have given you all this information, and you can see these yellow highlighted cells, highlighted columns are government statistics, just same as government gives, no change in that. And here is what I'm just give this in a couple of minutes only. This is up to 15th day of this month, report day, and effect day is 14th. 238 entries, as I said, and this is very much. Here is 130 crore population. Test a day is only 0.13%. 0.13%. This means if you take it in 8 days or 7.5 days, they just test 1%. In 7.5 days, they are testing 1%, or you may say in 8 days, they are testing 1%. This means 7.5 or 8 multiplied by 100 is 750 days required. Very, very simple. And here, this is 31.3 crores tests so far done, tests of individuals done, and out of that 24.078 it is the whole population, and this is the remaining population not tested. This is on that day of this report day, 16.93 lakhs were tested. 16.93 lakhs people were tested, and which is very small quantity still if you compare to from beginning. And when we require, how many tests we require a day? That's the question. We require 1.08 crore tests a day. If you have to finish it 91 days, we now require 1.08 tests a day, crore tests a day. But how many we are testing? 16 lakhs. See, difference between this and that. There is 16 or 17 lakhs, and there is only 1.08 lakhs. 1.08 crore is a requirement. So where do we stand? That's a question mark. Then we are saying that 2437-2907. So far these are infections, which is 2.43 crores infections we have gotten officially, and this is 33. This test per day, as we said, 3,26,000, which is 19.26% of this day. When you say compare it to how many were tested, this is 33.26 lakhs. When you find the ratio of this in 16.93 lakhs tested, it comes out to be 19.26. And then you may say this number of deaths updated, total cumulative death is 266,207, and on this day 3890 recorded. And these are, you can say, two figures. This is for daily vaccination, daily inoculation, and this is updated inoculation, which is 18.0450, and this is 13.881% for both cases. This is what is here. Then we go to other, which is 441 days have gone since 1st March 2020. Can we wait for all days to come? Can we wait for all days since commencement? And average of, you can say, average of testing is 7 lakhs. If you take average of my data, that is 7 lakhs per day, which is very, very small. So we have to be serious. And 98.7 crore people have not been tested. That's also a question mark. And here say, according to government figure, 8 crore is answer here. And according to my assessment, 31.5 crores. And another point is that I said before, if you take these 7 days, which is, you can say here, first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, and 7th day, these are various percentages shown here, and average comes out to be 19.84%. 19.84%, which gives a value of 2579 crores, equivalent of total population. Means we may have 20.79 crores positives in this case. And if you take only on last day, that is 19.26%, it also gives 25 crores impacts positive. So here, and we can see now, let's go to this conclusion here. What it says, total number of injections or vaccinations we did, that is here 18 crores, and that day 11 crores. So it is 13.881 percentages, and fraction of that for first dose, keeping 0.9 coefficient, is 12.493%. Other one is 1.388%. 888 days are required with this speed, and you may say this is very much worrisome, and if it continues like this, what shall result? Here is effect of total, when multiplied by 3, I get this data, which is worrisome because this data is updated on this day, this death on this day, and you can say this is infections, which says 7.3 crores infections, or 73 millions, let's say 7.3 crores infections, and this is, you can say, cumulative death, which is, this is here, and I think this is not death, actual total real death, yes, and this is actual total cases, as this millions, it is in millions on that day, 0.978 million according to this data. And what else we want to say, that 888 days are required for injections. So this is very important information. This file is available on script.com, and I have given, if you wish you can read there. Now this is some graphics which is related to same. This graph is here. This is, you can say, graph number 1, which is for positive cases. Since this data started, you can see this curve where it was here in August last year, September last year, and here is 238 day where it is, you can see. They say data falling and that thing, they consider stabilization. Well, I think government has got no experts to understand what is stabilization. This is not stabilization. This is, you can say, leniency in conducting work. It should go up, it's going down. This means they are lazy, they are not working, and when it is reaching to villages, it should rise. How can it fall? Second curve is India daily tests conducted. This is daily tests conducted. You can see sometime rise, sometime fall, like that. So it applies to this also. Then you can say chart number 3, which is April and May of this year, and this is started here, April, May, it goes like this, and then you go to April, May percentages of those tested, and you can see percentage of those people who are positive to those who tested, number that. If you divide, you will find in this 25.17 is maximum, here is 24.83, and it is, yesterday was 19 point something. So it is now April, May deaths. You can see these are deaths here, deaths, which is very important part here, deaths, and you can see that one. And also you go to vaccination, which is daily vaccination. You can see graph, it's designed very beautiful scenery actually. Rather you should say it's not even bank of a river or sea, it is something unknown, or you can say natural stone profile or something else it is. I'm just joking because what else I do. Then cumulative vaccinations, this is cumulative vaccinations, you can see. This portion is progressive, but after that it is down again. And then you can say here April, May cases, COVID cases. It was, having to say daily it is, but you may say it is April, May only. Yesterday is 236, and in this is maximum, which is 414,000. That is here. It's somewhere in between This there. Now you go to other one, infected to percent of infected to tested. This is that one, and you can blow up this if you want to read. It says percentage infected of COVID since 25 April. That is this one. And if you want to see, I just try to give further details as well. And its actual assessment, this is what I say prediction. As you can see here, it's crossing 1.2 million here per day, and that is here down, which was up. And in, you can say, assessment daily is this. I not put labels for clarification, and this deaths assessment, assess death is this one. So this is what I say, is this chart. So I understand you have gone through this, got my data. It may be useful for you. It's up to you how much do you understand. It's important to understand. This is time for explaining this because COVID is very. Otherwise, I had no plan to include this, but I thought it's important for educated people to know this, and that was only reason I brought it down here. I included in this talk. I'm closing this file now. Purpose is over. So this file is gone. This file is also gone. I'm talking of COVID actions and quality related issues. What is quality? How can we define that? So this is, you can say, COVID HSC actions. It's not going to, I'm not going to say what COVID is in this, but how its impact would be on our profession, engineering profession. That's the point in this. Here what we say, let us understand what I mean to say. It says how to recognize frontline teams, how to reorganize frontline teams in such a situation so that all remain safe. What do I mean by frontline teams is, it's those personnel who are at lower profile, and they always stand like soldiers on our sides, work all activities, and they deal with physical world, they deal with material, deal with equipment, deal with themselves, deal with site, deal with weather conditions, deal with safety or no safety, and deal with every act. And of course now if they work on sites, they have to deal with impact of COVID-19 as well, because it can't be separated. They work in groups on sites, and they are prone to transmission of infection from one to other or from air. That's why I say how to reorganize frontline teams in such a situation so that all remain safe. And that's what I mean to say crew handling, construction workers handling, and how to use their energies properly on works and how to keep them safe. Both points stand. We don't want to impact on their health. We don't want to impact on their safety issues. We don't want to harm environment for them. I'm not taking of air environment, I'm talking of working environment where they work in, and how to best utilize their ergonomical studies, their ergonomical power, which is energy. They have that energy must not go waste, and that energy should not go to COVID-19 as well. Therefore, it's responsibility of entire engineering professional community to contemplate on site working issues that would be impacted upon due to additional protective requirements to keep off COVID-19 contraction. I repeat it is responsibility of entire engineering professional community to contemplate on site working issues that would be impacted upon due to additional protective requirements to keep off COVID-19 contraction. COVID-19 is a powerful attacker or offender on entire immunity, and related statistical facts are, common facts are, shareable facts are 50% of infection currently that are happening around world, 50% belong to us. Belong to us, that is our country, Bharat, India, which is very serious issue. Very, very serious issue. And we are having shortage of so many requirements. Commonly we can say, because it affects on our people also, affects of construction workers. If medicines are not available, what to do? Not available. Even if people are detected positives and medicines are not available, and if available at 25, 30, 45 times of original price, it gives a question mark. It raises a question mark. Tremendous question mark. This means we are in trouble. As a nation, we are in trouble. Forget political statements. See reality. We are in real trouble. Facilities, issues are significant. They are lacking. They are missing. They are not available. Oxygen, which is available everywhere, is not available in hospitals, which is not available for those who require it. It is in short supply, and that is requirement of cryogenic transport carriers. We don't have. Nobody knew this may require. We may require that. In country of 130 crore people, our professionals did not know, our responsible authorities did not know that cryogenic transport carriers will be required. Strange. This means we are not having any thinking people. We don't have thinking stream. We have only certified streams. Hospitals, which is civil engineering construction issue, multidisciplinary issues, all those. We don't have plenty of hospitals even to cope up with such state of health, deteriorating health. We boast every time, not meeting unexpected requirements. Beds we don't have. If hospitals are not available, beds are not available. Not available to meet demands are doctors. Doctors are working, you can say, with unexpected hours, for unexpected hours, you can say 12 hours, 14 hours, sometimes round clock. This means we are short of doctors. They are working too hard. Their supports, nurses are working too hard. Work too hard, indeed. Health workers working too hard. And question of ventilators. See, in this situation also, in COVID situation also, our corrupt have become more corrupt. This is very bad time, COVID-19. In these bad times, there are so many corrupt in our country who have extracted this bad time for their good commercial time. They want to use this time for making money. Really robbers they are. Infections, 1 million a day or more. Leave aside format data. I don't care for formal data. We can think on level of honesty of our state. We can think of level of honesty of our people. And with that I can say 1 million daily or more infections are working, because if you see statistical, geographical status, particularly in our south, that is Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, and now Bengal too, which is not south, but in those states it is rising rapidly. UP, which is though not giving clear news, less than half information is coming from there. It's also rising to high. We can say, I can say data can be managed, because this data is given by government and not by third party. So that's, you can say, every day more than 10,000. Leave aside formal data. And experts assess more than 1 million persons already left for their permanent home That is cremation grounds. You can see conditions of these cremation grounds. We did not even think of that this would be required. There is no place for cremating that bodies, or you can say burying them. And what about poor? There is no concern by anybody. There is no concern in anyone. This is all engineering issue I'm talking, because you need expansion of cremation grounds, you need expansion of graveyards, and you need all this if there exists some government, and that's a question mark. What should we do? We should test all immediately. Why not entire population? Tested in 14 months. That's also a question mark. Isolate those infected. We can isolate only when we know who is infected. And shall we survive? That's the point. No scheme for testing and immediate inoculation by government, because we should not forget our workers. We are in millions. We use them every day, and they are not tested. Means they may be asymptomatic, or they may be sick of COVID. But how can we know that they are sick? We can know only when we test them. So testing has not been done. And this means we did not do proper engineering on testing. If we could not test our people in 440 or more days, we tested only up to somewhere between 22 and 25% or less than 20%. So where is engineering? Where is progressing? Where is plan? Where is achievement? Where is earning value? Nothing else. But I say panic must stop. We are doing analysis. This is more important than solution, because analysis shall give a solution, and analysis says we have failed in testing. That's the only point I can say. Forget about vaccination, forget about treatment. Had we tested 1 crore a day, or if not even say half crore a day, situation would have been much different, because by now you might have tested more than 75% people, and that would have given good foundation how to handle. And our situation would have been different. These people every day are coming and saying our positive is 20% or around. This would have been only 5% or 4% around. So in place of 4 or 5%, we have gone to 25%. A difference of 20%. A difference of 20% means what? A difference of 1/5 of our population. So you imagine, had we taken care of this long before, we won't have said that today we are 20%. We might have, today we got only positive, say 2%, 3%, or 5%. That's the only difference we have made, but we did not care for that. So I can say, but panic must stop and thinking must go on to come out of such world problem. And it's world problem, though it doesn't exist everywhere, but or we can say virus from our part of world has already gone to around 70-80 countries, or we can say of WHO says to about 40 countries, 44 countries. But I say forget 44 or 45, it should go to whole world, and that's where point of concern is. So what I say, we have to find various methods how to handle activities with our on our projects, because main activity that is related to health is HSE, health, safety and environment. We have to, I think, train further our safety officers, our safety engineers and ourselves who are direct engineers. And we have to write more on this, we have to think more on this, what our workers, in what capacity, to what level they will keep themselves safe. That is very important point. And if they cannot keep safe, then we also cannot keep safe. That is very important point. We have to concern for ourselves, and if we can't concern ourselves, I think we cheat ourselves, and that's important point. Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary Raju. I'm sorry I missed your call because I was busy in something. You write something to me if you can write to raise a question. If you have some question, you can write to me. It's not only to you, Mr. Chaudhary. It's to everybody here. If you want to raise some question about this talk, you can raise. Just calling for no constructive question, I think it's waste of time, public time, because I'm deliberating on health issues, safety issues, environment issues, and quality issues. We have to take into our consideration ergonomics issues. We have to think on, can we keep our workers safe in this way? That is first requirement. Though they may feel unhappy, they may feel inconvenient, it is same if some worker walks at height and that worker ties its harness to railing and feels unhappy because there's decrease in production output, you can say. Because every time that chain is declamped and reclamped, it takes some time, of course, and that person wants a freedom at height. It is not good, it's not correct. Yes, we can accept reduction in output, but safety is first. I had seen many examples in my life during my career, and this from all nationalities, that workers' mind is different. They are so strong in taking responsibility of themselves, even if they don't understand what shall happen, and they don't want to tie harness. I say, use harness. I'm responsible, they say. No, you are not responsible. How are you responsible, my friend? If you lose your life, you are not responsible. Your family shall suffer. Your children shall suffer. You shall suffer. And company shall suffer because company loses you. You are important for company. We value you. We depend on you. Depend on workers rather than. If workers don't work, company cannot work. That's the point. If I am an engineer, I am successful only if workers do job. And if workers don't do job, what's purpose? I can't do anything. Design is different. Their workers are not here. Their designers are available. Draftsmen are available. But here is the point completely different. If workers don't work, if workers are not available, then activities would stop. We have to be very serious about this. And we have to use their energy safely. And we have to help them keep themselves fit. This point is very important, and that's the reason I say you have to reorganize. You have to reorganize group activities. Group activities means we are maybe 5, 10, 8 workers work together, 50 works together, 20 works together, depending on type of work, and they stand nearby. It's not possible to maintain 2 meters distance from one person or other. For example, they work in concrete activities. They work in other activities wherever this is. They work in indoor activities, finishing activities. They work on activities where grouping is done. This means we have to keep them apart, and it's not easy to work. So we have to find some methods how best we can do it. This is also important, means when you are busy, you are tired, you are hardworking, and you can't think about what's right or what's wrong, but you are just enthusiastic to work. You are in full swing, you are king, and that point is important. So I am of opinion that we cannot keep everything unsafe. We have to keep ourselves safe and safely working. We have to think of our people not to fall sick of COVID-19, because if one person falls sick, means other in that group shall be quarantined. This means whole group shall stop working. We have to think in that way. It's not question of safety, health and environment. It's called safety of life, protection of society. We cannot subject those who are not infected, but they have to be quarantined. It's very important point. It applies to every home. It also applies to workers. So if we don't take off COVID-19, we will lose our workers even for 2 or 3 weeks. And from where shall you bring workers? who are free of COVID. With this point we have to understand. And all those activities which are done in group, there are so many activities that are done in group in civil construction. I'm not talking of mechanical electric construction. Generally there are people are not that much. But in civil construction, first of all, it's not easy to maintain safe distance. It's not easy. And they come in contact with each other a number of times a day. That's also true, because they work in groups, and when you work in groups, certainly there are chances that you are infected. You are infected because when you are heated up, when you are sweating, I know that mask is not easy to be used. It may get wet itself, or it may fall, or you may hang it on your chin, or it automatically comes down. It happens in many cases because masks are not exactly fitted on face. It comes down and nostrils are exposed, and even if nostrils are exposed, there are chances of infection. Even in construction sites, there are chances of infecting eyes are also available. Also, they are prone to eye infection. This means we have to be very careful. How can we maintain their distance, and how can we maintain an environment where wearing mask doesn't become obligation, doesn't become burden on them. It should be preferable. It should be individual choice to use mask. But we have to keep in mind working environment around wherever they work. At this point, it may be wherever persons come in contact, even there are two persons work, for example, masonry or plastering or something else. But in concrete, group works. Many groups, 10, 20, 30 people work together. And not only for 5 or 10 minutes. They work for hours, for days, depending on size of concrete. So we have to keep in mind these factors. They sit inside and they work. And when there are a lot of works, maybe there are 20 masons working, for example, someplace. 20 masons are working and 50 carpenters are working, formwork carpenters, and so many helpers with them. Suppose there are so many people working, 100 working or 200 working on one floor, it's very difficult to control them. We have to find out how to best work, how to select our scope area every day, every week. That question comes in. When our planning would change, maybe, because planning is a way of easy working, but now because we have to keep certain groups off, this means we might have to do either 2 floors together with certain part of this and certain part of that, or we may have to do something else where contact of people is avoided. That is important. Maybe people do not take it that way. I requested people to think doesn't mean you have to spend money. Only I have to think of how to reorganize our gangs or crews, so that also we have to change our studies way of our project details, because different levels of working and distance working, even if COVID is specialized, but it's not specialized to die. We have failed that way. So reorganization is very much important part of engineering as far as COVID-19 is concerned, as part of safety, health and environment is concerned. It's very important part that we have to understand. And if you can't understand that, I can say we live in darkness. We can only talk, but those who suffer, they know. Just imagine if a person earning 400 rupees a day or 300 rupees a day, or some mason or carpenter who may get 700 a day or 1000 a day. Only they know problems. What do we know about them? Means reality of life we have to understand. We have to understand activities, and we have to apply time management on that. and that may impact your level 2 schedule or level 3 schedule or level 5 schedule. It depends. So we have to take into consideration all these issues because working is affected, working styles are affected. This means product is affected, output is affected. That means we have to plan that way. Just like nowadays we design residential areas where multi-stacks are available in high rise, and we know that these multi-stacks, full height stacks are dangerous. These transmit virus. So we have to keep different consideration now. How can we isolate these stacks? How can we not give more than 2 or 3 floor connection and that further higher floors different connection, which is going to, I know it's going to impact on sanitary engineering, it's going to impact on piping anywhere, and also it may increase size of ducts. There could be any device, this design changes, design concept change. And now concept would be that we need that kind of philosophy that COVID-19 would not impact you if this design you work on. That's important point because we have to apply impact of safety health and impact of distance maintaining etc. on various projects, various activities, and that is to be applied. And of course means our workers should be safe. That's first point. And if workers are not safe, we are not safe because workers would do, and if workers don't have jobs, there's no work. It will cause economical attack on society, and that economical attack should be avoided. Maybe we have to reduce crew on sites, maybe keeping maybe 50% workers or 40% workers maximum of requirement, which means extension of time or doing double shift. And double shift doesn't always work because it has to do with batching plant and everything in that way, and means there is a complexity of organization of sites. COVID-19 impacts. There's a complexity of that, and that complexity must be taken care in this way or in that way. Nothing can be said directly, but there are many activities that are impacted upon, and that's what I say, responsibility of entire engineering team, engineering community to contemplate on that. Otherwise we can't say that we are flexible, we are adjustable community. This is only start of this deliberation. It is not like that. There is a question of excavation. There is a question on blinding concrete. There is a question on foundation concrete. There may be question on slabs concrete. Wherever more people work together, there is a question. Wherever people work in column concrete, where people work in beam concrete, I mean to say, group cannot be stationed as 6 feet or 2 meters away and use mask. We have to keep into consideration practicality. Which practicality is that? Even you reduce strength of workers, then you cannot get efficiency. That's not possible. That's not practicable. Yes, these workers be immunized, but that would take time, and that is not guaranteed also. So we have to keep these points into consideration while dealing with impact of COVID-19 onto workers and consequently onto excavation substrata exposures. This is only main point. I'll jump onto quality, which is having different approach. Now, because it is felt, it is observed, it is seen, it is evidently seen, that quality misses. I want to define quality approach differently. Quality approach. What is that? It says quality required everywhere, that's true. But is it? Shall we raise questions on that? I think we should. We should. Because it's money. It's money on projects. It's money on schemes. It's money on buildings. Which money should be realized. Why don't we realize? That's an important point. When we spend money on construction, I think it is 50 to 70% part of economical budget. It may be our home budget, or it may be our central budget or state budget. Money goes to construction out of taxes collected. And where should it go? It should go to bad work or it should go to good work. That's the point is. If you ask a person about quality, they may say something, they may not know, but they will answer something. That stage, we think, should support us. That should support us. So we have to define quality that way. It says quality required everywhere, that's true. But is it? That's another point. Quality required everywhere, that's true. But whether it is or it's not, it's also we have to analyze. If we can't do that, this means we do injustice with us, injustice with work, and injustice with material, injustice with money, and injustice with nation. We have to consider certain facts. Maybe we don't find that somewhere in books immediately, or we have to write more books for quality from practical angle, because systems quality is referred by organization, that is ISO 9001 or others. I am not keeping myself to that confinement. We have to go to further. We say system quality, that's one part of quality. We have to consider individual quality. Individual quality, we have to consider element quality. We have to consider attitude quality. We have to consider dedication quality and other parameters which you can define yourself. You can include yourself depending on what project it is. Whether you are in designs, whether you are in feasibility report, whether you are in contemplation, whether you are in execution, whether you are in supervision, whether you are in surveillance, whether you are in planning, whether you are in safety, wherever you are, attitude works. Attitude differs. Attitude doesn't mean impression. Attitude means your actions. Attitude means your seriousness to achieve efficiency, to achieve right product, and whether you are performer or not, whether you are right man for right job, or whether you are best man for best job, or whether you are efficient person, or whether you are a lenient person, or whether you are confident or not, or whether you are confident, whether you are efficiently progressive, or whether you are lazy, or whether you are serious, whether you concentrate. So many points you can say come under attitude. If attitude is not positive, you can't improve your individual quality. If attitude doesn't work positive, it doesn't work passively or actively, both, you may say you are a loser. You may say you are not reliable. Dedication, how much it is, to what level it is. Dedication Dedication doesn't mean something specific, it means your involvement, your will to work. Dedication means your complete will to work, your total involvement on whatever work you are doing. And there are very other parameters which relate to all these items. They may be knowledge areas, they may be those performing or managing areas. So quality, you can say, it's requires some of these systems, individuals, element of materials, attitude, dedication, and other parameters. We have to design structures and we have to design non-structures. We have to design both. When I say others, it means not structure alone, or other activities of life. It may be mechanical world, it may be electrical world, it may be electronics world, it may be artistic world. Whatever is there as a part of life must be considered integral part of life, without which we may not move. That point we have to clearly understand. Part of life, permanence of life. We cannot simply say I'm talking of design of structures. No, I'm not talking of structures alone. For me, design is everywhere. It exists everywhere. Now I'm talking to you, it's also a part of design because I thought something or I'm thinking now. Or what my mind says, that's also a part of improvised work. So I have to say all stages designs, all stages. But only design doesn't suffice if construction and development are not conducted to mark or carried out to mark. Not possible. Now, construction, which is, you can say, result of, or you can say, ultimate permanent result, and which cannot be discarded. Even our designs can be put in somewhere or torn away, hard copies, and dossiers are kept. But remember, those two won't help sometime. But structures that you are getting, house that you are constructing, or whatever institution you are constructing, or whatever permanent use item you are conducting or carrying out, that is forever. Construction is forever. It's not construction of glass, or it's construction of some small item which may break within 6 months or 1 year. It is construction of structure, construction of buildings, construction of all development work. All activities must be taken care of. I'm sorry, spelling must be taken care of, but it doesn't happen. Why it doesn't happen? Because we do not think how to improve our efficiency. Performance is a must, but performance can be done only when we know what we have to do. And if we don't know what we have to do, there is no meaning of performance. Performance doesn't work. We can say method statement a must. Express detailed format for performance and define performance. Method statement, what does it mean? How can you explain your knowledge for some activity? I can explain my knowledge, my views in our activity. Construction method statement actually it is express detailed format for performance and define performance both. It defines performance, and because it is defined, it is logical, I can say. Because it is defined, it is logical and it is important. It's important, it's logical, and it must be taken care of. Without expression of activities, without expression of procedures, we cannot follow up and we cannot perform. Even though I am an engineer, if I don't keep points in my methods, these points we have to follow, and I communicate those or fail to communicate those points to my workers may not understand and they will do according to what they think is right. And that's where dispute comes in. My duty is to explain to them, to instruct them what they have to do, but they think, oh, this person is not experienced, they may violate, though they generally don't. But in some cases, when I am not ready, I don't do my job, I don't explain to them how shall it be, telling you how shall it work for you. That is called expression of detail or missing expressions. Method statement must contain various points. It must, because method statement shall be read by someone. It shall be done by someone, and that someone is very, very important. We have to understand that point. And if we don't understand that point, we think we defeat ourselves. We know that time is very important. In our world of construction, time cannot be recovered if it is lost. We cannot change time. We cannot touch time. We have to finish work in that time. Otherwise, we are in wrong boat. Cost is dominating factor, very much dominating factor in terms of quantity and in terms of quality. We cannot waste cost because it is ultimately power to do, and once it goes without understanding, without taking responsibility, and without thinking what was required on top, we have to keep in mind cost. Cost can't be changed, it's invariable. It can be spent more, but it can't be saved. And then risks. We have to keep cost minimum, but cost is so cruel, so game changer that it goes on increasing and increasing, and ultimately it impacts on our budget. Risks, we say, risks. How many of ourselves do understand risks? That is important point. Risks are available everywhere. Risks can't be avoided, but can be understood. Can be understood, and once you understand risk, there is solution everywhere. We cannot say, no, I don't have risk, I don't understand that. That's not going to work. It can be time loss risk, it can be formula loss risk, it can be resume evolution. So risk means there can be risk of delay, there can be risk of suspension, there can be risk of other calamities, there can be risk of delayed payment. There can be financial risk. there can be some other risk. We will study them. We will see how can we. Now there's risk of sickness. People if get COVID-19, how shall we teach us? Therefore, cost, risk, and reliability are important factors. Reorganization. Then we go to reliability. Reliability, what is that? It must be defined and achieved. What is reliability? Reliability, you can say safety, serviceability, durability, other applicable knowledge areas factors. Analysis it is. We have to jump on to based on such information, absence of information, or we don't have complete guidance. We have to jump onto analysis, we have to jump onto something else. Meanwhile, I think you have to understand these points very well. You think of something and we'll be back. Now I'll keep one file open here so that in 10-15 minutes you can read that, and that's the important one. That's a list of some parameters I'm giving here, which we'll take now in consideration, and it's very important item here. You can read that just for your reference it is, and I'll be back. So let us continue. Sorry gentlemen, I'm a little late. What to do? It has to be done. It has to be done, and it's done. Now I give this file for some reason. This is file about quality issues, that quality assurance requirements, now issues requirements actually, and it's not having everything, but it's having certain you can say contents that we'll share, and this is, of course, this is facilities petrochemical chapter 11. There are many chapters as well. We'll take care of that. I'm just giving you this profile just to let you know what I'm going to talk to you, and that is about setting out and excavations. Then it is about hand excavations, checklist for formation, then for blinding, for concrete protection, which we call waterproofing, and also foundation, footings, preparatory works, as well as you can say stub columns, preparatory works, backfill works, then grade slab, then column works, wall works, RCC lift well walls work, longitudinal stair works, and then also it is suspended slabs works. Suspended slab works, and let me put my, it's not like that. And then it is, of course, you can say slab works and pedestal footings for steel frames works, blocks, footing blocks for steel frame works, and this for standby DC generators and alternate foundations or direct, and also generator foundations, and then fair face structural works, and then RCC architectural finish works, hoodie slab works, hoodie slab, sloping portion floor slab works, RCC sloping portion suspended slab works, now it is, you can say, it was checklist. This also tabletop column works, tabletop column, tabletop works, and then below ground RCC swimming pool. It is then firing or shooting range, it is then concrete pour, we say is now concrete pour started here. It was till now kind of, now it is concrete pours and footing concrete pour, then it is stub columns, and it is then grade slab, repetition of same RCC columns, RCC walls, lift well walls, longitudinal stair concrete, RCC suspended slabs concrete 4, pedestal footings, footing blocks, generator foundation, alternate foundation, RCC fair face concrete, RCC, you can say architectural finish works, hoodie slab, RCC sloping portion, list for RCC heavy compressor foundation, and tabletop, RCC swimming pool, walls, firing and shooting range, this is what this file contains. This may be chapter 11 here. That's important point, and it takes time to understand this. I'll go to chapter other one. Let me say where we can, if I can do this. आपको देखना मैं क्या देखता इसमें, well, we have to see that. Chapter 11, then it was execution plan. Let us see that one also. Execution plan. This kind of plan which is very different, because what is execution plan we have to understand. It's not simply one file, but it means something, a kind of, you may say, that execution plan is overall plan. You may say overall plan. How we have to carry out a project. I'll stop this file better. So how we have to work on a project overall from start to end, a gross plan, a gross statement that we have to, implementation strategy you can say, and it contains, for example, just go through, this is process buildings package, whatever packages that project has. Now I'm talking of process buildings package. It's sample, it's not sample from some project. And it says engineering design, it's building engineering design. This goes to scope of firm, it goes to building services, and then it goes to detailed engineering design, services designs, and then specialized discipline, specifications, supplement specifications. You may say coordination procedures, coordination between contractor and its head office, coordination between contractor and site office, coordination between contractor and firm, coordination between contractor and firm, coordination between contractor, firm and EPC, coordination between contractor, firm and site, contractor internal coordination among various sections, contractors internal coordination among various sections on site, review and approval of documents, CAD procedures, engineering reporting and change control, document control procedure, vendor print numbering review and distribution procedure, as-built drawings, inspection and test plans, you can say project controls, procurement, pre-mobilization planning, work centers, mobilization, subcontract strategy, testing and inspection, material management, procurement, organizations, corporate organization, site organization, manpower resourcing and mobilization, equipment resourcing and mobilization, construction method statement, process building, subcontracting, supply and coordination of lower tier subcontractors and vendor representatives as necessary, supply and coordination of lower tier subcontractors and vendor representatives as necessary, provisions of waste management at all job site locations including disinvestment of all temporary works upon completion of works, provisions of medical and firefighting services at job sites and for temporary works, specific construction method statement that for buildings, sample only, you can see I am giving you all this. In that also pre-commissioning, commissioning, provisional acceptance and final acceptance, supply and coordination of lower tiers of contractors and vendor representatives necessary. Then civil works, which is sample only, site protection and preparation, checking procedures, site preparation earthwork typical, then protection procedure, gravel finishing, vegetable soil surface, landscaping, protection of existing services, galvanized fence, reinforced concrete fence, prefabricated reinforcement concrete fence, vehicle gate, pedestrian gate, road barrier, fence erection, excavation, backfill to structure, piling typical, cast in place concrete piles, pile load test, pile, post pile load test, earthwork, general excavation, sectional excavation, embankment, earthwork for storage facility, earth dikes to retain barriers, to retain basins, soil improvement by soil substation, earth dikes to retain basin, soil improvement by soil substitution, soil treatment, walkways curb, walkways foundation, walkways finishes, laying curbstones, typical sample, laying permanent interlocking blocks, roads, yards, paving, asphalt, roadworks, asphalt, concrete, surface preparation, main operations, mixing, transportation, applications, primer, etc., surfacing, rolling, wearing coats, reinforcement, fabrication, reinforcement placement, formwork erection, concreting, concrete paving, concrete lined trapezoidal ditches, expansion joints between ditches, concrete lined rectangular ditches, expansion joints between ditches, termination details to protect membrane, grouting to pipe rack bases. Like this, there are so many statements in that. Water tightness, test of RCC structure, typical sump, concrete protection coating, typical, lighting poles, foundations, pulpits, typical, reinforcing bars placement, occurring, etc. There are so many such statements in this. So many statements in this, and also this is chapter 13. calling. I don't know. It's calling for what? Who's this? People have no idea what it's calling. I जाना यार. अंदर यार. फालतू में गाली करते हैं यार. I like to show this. You just browse this file. This is for environment clauses for plant industry, environmental clauses for plant industrial city and construction contracts. And this may be, they are detailed in that because preventive measures, and then you can say fire protection, fire hazards, codes and standards. Then there are various codes like National Fire Protection Association, portable fire extinguishers, low expansion foam, mobile foam apparatus, carbon dioxide extinguishing system, installation of a sprinkler system, water spray fix system. Then you can say installation of centrifugal fire pumps, private fire mains, flammable and combustible liquids code, National Electric Code, National Fire Alarms, electric generating plants, cleanage and fire extinguishing system. Then there are reference documents, and it's a long document, but with interesting one regarding the fire alarm analysis, safety, and you can say flammable gas detection on buildings, and that is buildings are divided for process buildings, for example instrument equipment shelter, IES we call it, that is instrument equipment shelter, and electric substation, SS, operator maintenance shelter, that is JDM, and sulfur way station building, and sulfur way station truck driver building, process chemical shed, compressor shelter, smoke room, fire point analyzer, non-processor, laboratory, storage, chemical store, cooled chemical store, maintenance building, fire station, gatehouses, and you can see them. So like that, there's a classification of this, and say fire protection design basis, H2S gas detection buildings, analyzer shelter, non-process building. If you move on this file, you will find that so much is given here. Just blow it up better. We'll find enough interesting and reliable information, professional information. Luckily I got this information from various sources. No original work here. You can see as I am moving further, you will find different explanations. And also this is safety task analysis, risk reduction talks, which we generally write START, STARRT, and also job hazard analysis and various responsibilities of various people. And an example of START card, just for your information. This is START card where supervisor, date, job description, primary hazard risk, location, these are given, and this electrical excavation say these are, for example, in electrical locked and tagged, try and test, disconnected, like that. Excavation, what is excavation? Various activities are involved here. Then this is job hazard analysis, and that is now where key job steps, potential injury on health effect, tools or equipment used, engineering staff practices, equipment, PPs. Like that, all activities we have to deal with. I think all activities generally which apply on buildings. These files we are going to take up soon, and before that, because quality requirement also is very important file. Answer this guy with fields of regular things. Quality assurance requirement, this file has something to deal with you significantly. Quality, when I talk about quality, it's no, it's no in hangover. It's no in hangover. It's something that either we should do it or we should not talk of this. We should not claim of that. Because I have seen it's very much you can say difficult. It's easy to say that we achieved quality. Everybody can say we achieved quality. But what achievement we have done? It's very important form. We can say we achieved. We say, I did work and I did it. That's right. I say something, I did it. People believe that I said. But is belief enough? Point is that. Is that belief enough? Maybe they give value to my statement, and because of that, they believe. Right? They believe, and they say, yes, if he is saying that, he must have done it. But am I not going to cheat myself if I make them trust? And they trust. But time would tell whether assumption made by them was right or it was not right. Why should I bluff someone? Why should an engineer bluff someone? That's the point. Am I born to bluff them? No, I am not born to bluff them. But are we transferring trust to them? Are we winning trust over people? Are we satisfying ourselves? Do we satisfy ourselves that whatever we do in compliance to quality? Do we understand quality? Yes, we are engineers. We should understand. We should understand quality, and that's what time says. Do we understand quality? We should. This is what engineering says. If an engineer does not understand quality, who shall? But does engineer know it? How many subjects of quality did we study in our education? Whatever education level we have, I don't understand this. I don't know this. Where is quality subject? We know only designs and we know only execution. There may be third party certification. There may be something else. There may be something else. Proof design is there. Review of design is there. They do it. Design and designers have no dearth in this country. Every engineer wants to be designer. Every engineer. I think about them, they think, if they are designers, they are different. Maybe. If they are designers, they may be different, understood, because they concentrate on computers. They never assume buildings. They never talk to buildings. They talk to software. They are supposed to talk to building, to structure, but they talk to software. They listen to software. Is software master? I am talking of quality. Quality in designs, quality in works, and quality in conduct. Design quality, works quality, and conduct quality. Conduct quality is very different. This relates to individual and this relates to individual capability. See, mathematical work is one part. But implementation, executive work is another part. And then, of course, wherever it's applicable, third party certification is acceptable. It's common. Quality is a responsibility of every engineer and every worker on site. But do they know? Or what do you think? Whatever they do, that's quality? I've not seen any document, official or non-official, that can force people. Yes, I would say it must be forced. I would not say voluntarily it should be. If it's done voluntarily, that's very much welcome. But it's not being done. That's why I'm raising this point. Should quality be imposed or quality be preferred? If I say if it doesn't come out, then the question is, quality is to be understood. First of all, quality documents. That is first requirement. Whatever this statement we are giving, these are side statements. Quality documents, contract documents. Quality documentation is first requirement. How many shall you agree on this? Professionals, this is our job. We cannot skip. If we skip from that, we skip from life. I should say that. Quality is not merely a formality. It's not merely a formality. Quality work is real work, destination work. Protocol of engineering says that your work done on site should be in line to designs. Designs means contract documents. Contract documents means form of contract. Then conditions of contract, whatever conditions. If these are specific conditions or particular conditions first and then general conditions. And then you can say specifications, project and general. Like that there's a sequence of many levels. We have to undergo this. Yes, we have to undergo this. We have to understand seriously, and not only understand, we have to do it. If we don't do it, there is no meaning of working at site if we don't do it. There is no meaning of showing people I am doing this is my project. I delivered it. If you maintain quality, it's welcome. That you maintain quality, you conform to quality, and you did not consider documents just mere representation of what you have to do, and you don't care about that. If you don't care quality, well, I always say and keep saying that because I've noticed it's not working. System, forget system. It's not system. You are making system. I am making system. But we are not implementing that, unfortunately. I'm not saying we don't pay for that. Everybody pays for that. Everybody. Why that return doesn't come? If people pay for full quantity, means quality is also paid. And if payment is made for quality, why we don't receive that quality? This is called honesty, you think? This is called professionalism, or this is called what? Nothing. Very, very important point, quality. Why a student of 2 year quality, if we must miss this whole project. I can say this because you are not doing justice with your profession. You don't do justice. You're not doing justice to designs. You don't do justice to designs and specifications. And designers just design. They don't do justice to project. And they think whatever they design automatically will work. This is their assumption, which means it's not going to work. Design should be equal to construction. Most should be in the same line. Those people who do not tally with each other, design work equal to site work, if this equation doesn't work, there exists no engineer, I would say, despite we have millions of engineers in designs. I see so many photos on Facebook, rubbish designs, rubbish executions, because they are not clear about what is required. See, learning is one thing, going to school is another thing, but learning through soul, through concentration is another part. Very important. I am telling you, life's not that easy. Maybe purchaser doesn't know who is there. Those people who try hard to achieve quality anywhere in world, somewhere in world, I say, I salute them. But those people who don't bother about this, their survival exists based on their purchaser. We cannot miss quality if we want to win over ourselves. And if we can't do quality, then I think we should stop engineering design and we should stop site work. There's no meaning in that. We are not paid for avoiding quality. We are not paid for that. We are paid for including quality. Many of you may say I am idealistic. You may say. Sometime, 20 years, I If we cannot do this, I have no other word to say. We have to learn it first. We have to define ourselves what we're going to do. Every one of us should. And moreover, designers are more responsible than site people, because site people work what they design. If design doesn't give that information, I don't consider that as well design. Yes, it is design calculation but not designs. Design calculations and part. If we don't understand this point, then I think we do mistakes with ourselves. We cause mistakes to ourselves. When I say how to achieve quality, when I say we have to achieve quality, what does it mean? This means we have to understand quality first. And if we can understand quality, we can implement that. But who shall write it? Who shall write it to achieve quality and what to achieve? It's not question of who is what. It's question of what do we think. What do we think? This is very small piece of paper, you can say. I'm just presenting. In this only few activities have been covered, not all. And we can cover whatever we want to cover, it doesn't matter. Particularly those activities which are ignored in quality work. I'm not going to talk about finishing items very much, because finishing items can be changed, can be rebuilt. But those items which are permanent, forever, and which expose themselves to risk of safety, those items really value more importantly than others. If we do not get that into ours, well, I think we make mistakes. We can make mistakes. What mistakes we make? That's one part. If we have to analyze how many important activities we have to work upon qualitatively, I can say these are not many. Not many. And those are not very difficult also. Not very difficult. In fact, frankly speaking, not very difficult. What we have to see, we have to pick, we have to understand how we do. If we can do that. I was in a phase of life when I did not know anything about designs of quality. But when you come up in a career, start career, you cannot say you know everything. It's time that puts danda on your head, stone on your head. It's time that beats you, it's time that kicks you, or you are kicked out, then you have to learn. You are forced to learn if you want to survive. I see many writings these days about designs. Okay, that's one part of life. I'm not going against that, I should not. Because that is mathematical calculation and what people think about structures, how this behaves. Design can be changed. before it is done. Design can be changed before it is done. But once work is done, physical work is done, it is not possible to change it. This is very brutal, I'm talking. Everything must be known to every one member of group when they work. Can we lose our ground? If we can lose our ground, fine. I will request every one of you, those who are in engineering, I'm not asking those who are not in engineering, those are public members. Those who are engineering, it's their duty to talk about quality even though you are expert in the science. Designs cannot be done without keeping abreast quality issues. We cannot isolate them. We were talking of environment, then we were talking of execution plan, and we were talking of quality requirement. All these three files are important for us. All. We have to be very serious on this issue. What shall we do with designs if we can't implement them? Can you think on this? Thousands designers, maybe lakhs, more. And if they are not given opportunity to make sure, at least as third party, if not direct, what's right, what's wrong. What we do, we have to understand first. We have to line it out. We have to plan it in writing. We have to see what we are going to do. And if it is possible, we have to discuss with team that will do it. Crew, we have to do that. Until we do that, we go wrong. We go wrong specifically and in general. Quality is not quality control alone. No. Whole system procedure is quality. Design is a system procedure. Tendering is a system procedure. and you can say external control must be there. Only then we can understand what to do. Even in excavation there is quality. You cannot say it's excavation, what is quality required. Can't say that. We had discussed about soil reports or surveys. I discussed. It teaches that what quality is. We should know what soil is, how it behaves. Once we understand and we are serious that we should be rigid on quality, we will do quality, we will give quality. In some designs, no quality factor was considered. When we start with quality, means one item, another item, third item, fourth item, then you will start writing yourself. Starting is difficult. You know specifications, and if you don't know, you can read them. You know how to get job done. You have to handle safety, you have to handle quality, you have to handle everything, or you have to supervise that handling. People should know, workers should know that you are serious. You are not serious just to time pass. You are serious to give better project, better deal. We do thousands of cubic meters of concrete, thousands of cubic meters. It's achievement, really. We produce many flyovers, many buildings, rapidly produce, and they claim we achieved it. Simultaneously, thousands and thousands cubic meters of concrete is laid, and that's an achievement. Achievement for what? It is an achievement. So who says this is an achievement? Why structures don't work accordingly? That's the point. That's the point of concern and major concern. When I started this video programming, I think somewhere in March last year, 19, I have put list on this forum. I'll say I have seen complaints that we excavated and water is coming in. This means you are not engineers. You didn't know water level, you didn't do soil investigation, and you excavated that. What we have to do, we have to completely analyze whole system, whole work, whatever site we have, whatever activities we have to go through, and what we call it analysis of project. We have to analyze whole project, analyze project, analyze everything, and analysis gives you answers. Though it's easy to say than what? Have to. I would only suggest everybody not to argue too much and not to claim too much, but try to write something and pass it to those who need it. Once mistake is done, remember. Let me say everything. You know, worship. What is worship? We call it faith. Every religion calls it faith. Faith is worship. Yes, I agree too. It's faith that we worship. And that faith comes from our conscious, from our heart. We don't find any justification in that, and we don't want to fight. We don't want to find that justification or argue. We say it's belief and don't hurt others. But they don't. If I either know thoroughly, even if I know thoroughly, I have to write to those people. What we have to do, we have to think of, after designs are over, we have to think of temporary work, permanent work, and in between preparatory works. If we can analyze all those activities, what is this quantity and that quantity and structure? If we don't understand ourselves what is quality, we can never achieve it. Even if we don't understand what's temporary work, we can result into accident. If you don't listen to safety guy, or safety guy is not well educated, then civil engineer has to become safety guy and draw sketches for temporary work. We have to think of permanent work. We have to think of preparatory works. Design and construction must be same. That is my insistence. There is an always disparity. Always. You can go and see whatever work everywhere. I don't want to name any company because all are same. There is no difference. We can write checklists, we can write inspection lists, and we can sign them also, but who inspects? It's really very tough job. I don't know, it's done in Gulf, it was done right there. Here people laugh when we talk of quality. He shall teach me quality, people say. I have been doing 25 years work. Since for 25 years I'm working and this guy will teach me. Strange. We have some system, broken one, and we have to remake it. I still remember those times when there was no quality system, but quality existed. I don't know where those people have gone. There was no system as IS 9000. There's no other systems, but quality prevailed. Means people were serious. People were serious. Nowadays people are not serious. That's the only difference. Youth has to right to work, and youth are working, but they are working for salary. We used to check everything when there was no calculator even, right? Or no good calculator, or they were very rare sub calculators. Well, I don't know how to convince you, irrespective of you're convinced or not. You can't avoid this. You have to go through this. I have written some methods, brief methods for this. Will I keep you posted on them? We can find many solutions to achieve quality, and solutions are available, but we have to do some effort on that. You see, nothing happens on its own. We have to do that. Nothing can happen on its own. This is life. We have to take care of ourselves and we have to do it. No one will help us. No one will help us. We have to help ourselves. And that we have to do. और जा यार, अकेलो यार। This is what I say. I will go again this. I have to go again this one and to take care of this. We have to go to each point of this. Quality non-conformance product is called substandard and therefore rejected. Non-conformance means engineer is either careless or ignorant or fake one. Because of quality failure, we suffer because of quality failure. We suffered because of quality failure, and because of this, that's result. You can read this. It's responsibility of entire engineering professional community to contemplate on site working issues that would be impacted upon due to additional protective requirements to keep off COVID-19 contraction. Because of absence of all quality work, quality requirements, they are coming to this trouble. We must take this into our care and must be done so. I understand. If you do not take care now, it's a very competitive time. We use earth materials, natural materials for our jobs. We use metal for our jobs, and we use natural resources, natural wealth to work for us. And if we make mistakes, or if we deliver substandard items, we deceive nature, we deceive God. We have to take that point into our consideration. Where do we go? How we do this and how we do that? That's the point of main concern. That's only reason that I want to take more time on explanations. Explanation can be done. It can be affected. And you know better than me. But you can say a degree of yawning, a degree of laziness, a degree of lethargical approach exists in ourselves, that we have to take out, and we see it will confine them. Otherwise, you may say, it's problematic always. It is problematic. With this small point, and already little bit is over. I thought to talk more, but because of my weakened health and due to some other reasons, I am not talking more than 3 hours. Maybe 4 hours, 5 hours we could talk. But also I am not getting any feedback from those for whom this program is being made, and that is really not worthy. So I am little You can say. So I'm little, can say, not helpful in that way. I think it's better to close down today's program and see how it works next time. And I think you'll get benefit of this, 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 and so many other benefits which are exclusively meant for you. And I will write more and more of this and we'll see how it does. So meanwhile, I'm taking your leave and closing this, and I think thank you very much for this.